Hi everyone, it's Jen from Mind's Eye, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do a second media reading about Nicolas Maduro, and a deep dive on what this guy is really about. So when you actually see it and the way that everything is like going on and going through, like you really can't even do like a true like reading on this guy yet because you just can't even like see it coming. So where do we start with this guy? Where do we start with this guy? Usually there's a quick on lead. Something odd with him that like goes on like between 5 and 9 p.m. It's like between 5 and 9 p.m. All right. There's a type of communication that's a little odd with this guy. And when you see it, you can't even go like full rooster. So I'm looking at this and I'm seeing like a children's movie where there's a rooster, and I see this as like a Knight of Cups. There's something about him like with a type of affiliation that's kind of odd. It's really odd. They're really known for a lot of hate crimes. So when I'm looking at it and I'm seeing this, and I say, why would I say that's odd? Like criminals associate with each other. It's something about contentment and like happy family, and there's something about legal and like law enforcement and judicial. But he's just saying like law. I'm hearing it like law. It's just about law. There's something about being happy. Everything was fine. I'm looking at Venezuela. It's like hold your own and like stay in your lane and like don't even come near me in that country. Like you better like state and stake your claim before you even come into here. So when I look at it and I see the Five of Pentacles, there's a lot of money loss in Venezuela. A lot of money loss. It's counterintuitive when I see the Ace of Cups in reverse, and then like highly intuitive to psychic. But it's like more of like logic. Like I mean, you should have known about this, that type of logic. So when I'm looking and I'm seeing the lovers, there is a marriage about Nicolas Maduro that like this like type of divorce is contractual. That's what I'm seeing as a psychic. Now, I feel like it is kind of odd and kind of fateful to a point of destiny on how it goes in and through about these new mayors who are socialists coming in. So when I see the Queen of Cups in reverse with this, I go, you can't really be like counterintuitive to like full intuitive instinct because it will put you out. The Ace of Wands is like the spark of the like new like quick beginning. So it'll snuff you out in a way. So when I see it and I see the King of Wands in reverse, it's highly dishonorable what they do down there. So when I see dishonorable, it's like there's no court. That's what I mean, like dishonorable. When I see this and I see the Six of Cups in reverse, it's not really well known. Like in mediumship, I'm all of a sudden seeing like it's like in the late 1200s down there. So I'd have to look at like there's something in the room. We kept saying in many of our psychic readings, like it's something in the ruin, something Aztec Mayan. It's culture. When you look at the stones, like you touch the stones, you can almost go back in time. But that's how energy transference is when you touch it as a psychic too. Very sensitive to energy. So when I look at this and I see this Three of Wands in reverse, there's no foresight or foregoing, but all of a sudden there's like money on the table and they're like, go for it, go for it. It's odd. I'm seeing it like in the 1250, 1280. They're coming into these temples. And when they go into temples, then they come out and they're like relaxed and they're good and they're fine. And then when that happens, all of a sudden, like they're like everything is on the table. It's odd. It reminds me a lot of like the movie like American Gangster a little bit, where they're on a high known, and a high known literally means that they can't actually go on and go out because when I see this and I see this death card, like it's sharp endings to a betrayal of own. So when I look at it and I see the Page of Wands, you go, you can't actually look at it at all. So when I see it and I see it causes quite the pause, it starts getting silly. It around him, around these criminals. And they're like, is there like a ghost in here or whatever? When I see it and I look at this, it looks like the Six of Cups, but really it is the Four of Cups in reverse. You could almost like put an offering. So in mediumship, they're doing like a little bit more like talk about the Day of the Dead, November 1st, and how that plays in with this gentleman. Because it does cause unrest. And there's something that I like had caught my attention about a few years ago. It was like everyone thinks they're dead, but they're not. I said this is like an old joke or something like that. Like this is horrible when I say that on November 1st. But that is like what I was also picking up about, like something about Fortnite in Latin American community, Hispanic community. That there was something that was really insulting to them about Fortnite. All right, what else do we need to know about this guy? Something about 4 layers. Something about cold. He likes the cold. He likes his wife likes like warmer climate. Um, he likes like his animals. He likes his dogs. He likes paperwork. He likes sitting with the paperwork. He likes doing quite a bit of things that you would consider normal as a like a Venezuelan president. But when I'm seeing this, and I'm seeing like all of a sudden narco terrorism charges, I'm seeing 5 of Cups in reverse. I can't even get it out at all. When I see the Queen of Cups, like again, like it's this counterintuitive. It feels like a foregoing of own. Foregoing of own literally means like something so highly like counterintuitive, and it's happened before. Around 1969, I would look into Pablo Escobar on how he like did his business. I mean, anything that we're saying, like you can look it up on like Netflix and stuff like that. So when I'm seeing the mob and the mafia, and I'm seeing how the cartel and the drug lords are, but he was more of a kingpin. It means he was a little bit more relaxed in his direment to his predicaments. To where he, when he's wearing this sweatsuit, I have to say, he's actually wearing something that actually could be like full known, and people start wearing it just to relax with him. So when I see it and I see the Six of Swords, you actually have to go about it like own, like own. So when I see it and I see the Eight of Swords and I see this Three of Pentacles and I see the Queen of Swords in reverse, something about like 30 pages of like documents come in and they're like, what do these words mean? And when they look through and they go, found it, that's what fired it all up, the Ace of Wands. So when I see it in the upright position to the Hierophant, highly dictative to a known source. So known source, when I'm seeing this as a psychic, it literally means that like you can actually like lift your head up and picture it on what's out there, even if you're not psychic. And when you look it out and then you find that person like, hey, what are you doing? Like, what does this mean for you? On an open conversation, it starts a new path in the beginning for a lot of people on chatter. So that is how it usually starts. Is when it starts like in this like how you found out. You're just out and about doing your daily routine, and that's when it really gets heinous, heinous. So I'm looking at it and I'm seeing the Ten of Swords in reverse. Like it is an alleviation of a difficulty because the Seven of Wands is talking about struggle. But when I look at it and I see the Four of Cups, I go, they're again in reverse. It's not this like greatest thing. That's what I keep feeling. When I see this Ace of Pentacles in reverse, I'm going, you can't even believe how hard it was. Like the loss of money, the loss of opportunities for a lot of people. I'm trying to look at him like as a president, like why would you take away opportunities to take like make money? Other than like you like or taking like fentanyl and like cocaine or anything like off the table. Like what would actually make this guy cut off income? something about dogs. So down in South America, it's very common to watch the animals, and there it's common to have their animals on their rooftop. So when you actually walk in, and someone who like I went to boarding school, um, uh, and we had quite a few Central and South Americans stay there. They say it's just like normal. So there they don't eat a whole lot, and when this happened, when they would come into like high school, they would literally like they're like I gained so much weight here, and then all of a sudden they're back for the summer, and they were like fine. They would talk openly about what these things like would do, and like what to watch for. They literally could not even believe like how it like the huge difference in culture it was down to the times of being sick. So when you actually look about it, for them it would be criminal. So when I look again, I say, okay, you had an issue with the dogs on the rooftop. I would be scared because your dog, just like anyone else who has pets or animals or anything like that, however they say it, it's going to literally mean something when you're like, my cat is not throwing up anymore. There's something on. Couldn't even believe it. Couldn't even believe it. So as we continue talking about Nicolas Maduro, let's go to another deck here. What else do we need to know? We'll look through the crystal quartz. This is scrying. Kind of like a crystal ball. I just like it a little bit smaller. 4. He's talking about number 4. He's like adamant about number 4. Something about a prophecy with him. Something about a prophecy that disturbed him. All right, let's hear Sarah. What else do we need to know about this guy? His family is like well built up. His family is well known, spelled differently. Like we were saying, like we saw the escort in. I'm seeing United Nations. I'm seeing actually like NATO and like common, like doing a lot of common ground, but I'm not seeing actual war. I'm seeing terms on the table. All right, Nine of Cups. They're really not happy. When you see this and you see the Ace of Pentacles, I go again like there's no like money. They're talking. There's no money. When you see this and you see the Three of Swords, you go. You can't even believe it when you see this Nine of Pentacles, Three of Swords, Nine of Pentacles. It hurts, but man, like they're looking at it, they're like, oh my god, like just go and you'll be fine. And when you see it, you go Page of Wands in reverse. It's not quick. Like it comes in steady. It's not gonna make sense. So when I see it and I see this Five of Swords, I go, you couldn't even believe it, how hard it was to actually go through. So I'm seeing this and I'm seeing the Empress and I'm seeing, the Ten of Wands. Like digging, there's digging. There it is. There it is. That took a lot to get. There's something about digging about ruins. Unfulfilled wishes. I feel like architecture, agricultural, irregularly. Why am I saying irregularly? There's something about like also the ground. I feel like they dug something up and like they did something. Hello there, Danny. Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles. It's something about artifacts with this Venezuelan president that was brought forward. Like, you can't even believe this. Like, on the table. That's what I'm saying as a psychic right now. Hierophant. Like, written like a time capsule. And like all of a sudden it talked about money loss. And then, you sleep on it, and like anyone who maybe went to like Aztec Mayan ruins and they're digging up artifacts and they bring it forward because it's something maybe he should have known at this point. When I'm looking at it and I'm seeing the Page of Swords, I go, they like some of are researching, like, how did this like actually like digging up artifacts lead to like narco terrorism charges? Like, I see the Seven of Wands and like it's not even guarded, it's not even planted or rooted or like in reality. And I go to the King of Pentacles. There's something about greed. Like, greed is something green, like green paper. It's a little bit witchy. So when I see it and I see the Six of Wands, it is like this victory, like we were talking about. It's no victory or Valkyrie, and it's felt different. And so you go to Vietnam. What's the connection between Vietnam and Venezuela? Isolation, like containment, isolation, illness. Knight of Cups. You see this, you see Justice, you see the King of Cups, and you see the Chariot, and you see the Pentacles. Like, it comes in fast in an ambulance. This is what was happening in 1969 and 1979 in a 10-year span. So when I see this and I see, again, it's a new journey, it's a new beginning. It can be reckless though because you don't see it. You go to the Ten of Cups and you go, in reverse, it's really unhappy. Really, there's no logic. There's nothing. Like, you're sitting there like, what were you doing? Like, what are you thinking, like, by doing this? Especially out here. And bringing it in after what we just went through with Pablo Escobar and all of them. And you go, it's a rebirth. This card is really more like rebirth, renewal. When I see that, I do see like palm trees, but I'm not looking at Florida. I'm looking at Bermuda Triangle. How does the Bermuda Triangle relate to this? So I'm looking at it and I'm seeing the sun, and I'm seeing like the King of Swords in reverse. They're like a Bay of Pigs. We have to go to the Bay of Pigs. We have to go to, is this like a vendetta? Are they all coming out to test everyone? Because it's so like you can't pick up on it. And all of a sudden it's right there, these type of crimes. Action, cutting, as they would do. As I would anticipate like they were still doing. Let's go to a plating oracle. This one's a little more like trolling, to the point. It comes to like a timeline jump, especially when it comes to underground patient movement. We're talking about all these instances of like adrenochrome. We're talking about instances of like human trafficking, sex trafficking, child trafficking, cocaine, all of it. And then all of a sudden, like, it's like right there in the public, right in your face. When you see it, it's almost like reminding me a little bit of I hate to say it, about 9/11. And why am I doing this? Like, football game. Why am I looking at it like football game? How do you keep doing this? And then we see when you see more rope on this card, and the way to start is like a bullseye, a talent, a talisman, shaman. He sits with a shaman. And something about he changes his name to protect his son. So when I see this and I see Dreamtime, and I'm seeing like dolphin play. Yeah, odd dreams. So anyone who's ever had surgery, like you kind of have this like foggy dream, and you have these like odd moments. I'm seeing this, and I'm seeing transmission to a type of gamble, and you see a sacred geometric figure. Like, am I seeing things? It's like one of those things that happen. So when I look at it, like root and light for me would be like you're going about in your kitchen and you're just like kind of doing something odd. And when you're doing something odd, you pick it up and you get dizzy. And like, I don't know, I didn't know I had vertigo. They just come right on in. There we go. The garden. Like you can't cultivate. That's what are surrounding this guy. The Ark of the Covenant. You have to protect like things that, like in safes. If you walk into the houses, they're like, no, 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 everything is safe, everything is fine, everything is good, and I got everything. Like they start buying it down to, no, can't even do. So I'm looking this and I say, it all falls out to a fallout of a waterfall. I would actually start looking at like what they were talking about in the TV show, up in the air, no float, like something about helium, of a type of noxious gas. Divine physician. There's not a lot of doctors there. Not a lot of doctors. Something about birth. A lot of home birth. Something like very old, but it's not archaic. Why would I be saying that about home birth? Archaic. The Akashic Library. It is documented again in like 1968, 1969. When you see this and you see the King of Roses, I go, there really isn't like nothing like known. But when you see this and you see Caught in the Ruins in reverse, it was like a perfect playful, like, what would you need? Bones. Something about bones. They talked about it on Ancient Aliens. So I'm looking at it and I'm seeing, like digging up artifacts, and I'm like, are you looking for aliens or something like that? You're looking for caterpillars and centipedes and anything in that nature? Because historically, it's actually documented that they went crazy on their own inhibitions. Some of these old ancient civilizations. So I see it, fated meeting, absolutely. All of a sudden, you start meeting people that you probably shouldn't have met before. Diversity, absolutely. All of a sudden, everyone shows up and they're like, no, I went through this, I went through this. So when I look at it and it brings me on this vision of bread, I go, get out of here. Just get out of here. When I see spring and autumn, timelines, there's something about timelines with this guy too. All right. Literary Witches Oracle. All right, wings. This one wants to shuffle more. Wings. What do we need to know about wings? Transitions, reality grid. I feel like they were looking for ancestors. They're trying to unsteady it. Bravery, like senses, like they actually got sick. I'm seeing like huge sinus infections. It was awful, like awful, and they had no doctors and they had nothing. So what did they had to do? And they had like a vision of the future. And when I see it and I see the soul, like their soul like trembles about this. I feel like ancestors probably left something. Like if you tampered with this, you can't actually finish this whatsoever because we already knew it. So when I look at it, historical records, why is snail wall that like is heavily guarded now? Whatever was doing, they're talking about like grave sites, old grave sites. They're looking vision. They had a vision, and then you look at it and you're like, where you're around certain areas that you weren't supposed to, because it's already known. One second. All right, buddy. I think your coat is actually in the living room. You're gonna have to ask Grandpa. There it is. Don't mind me. So when I see this and I see belonging, like they were trying to find themselves in this like historical artifact of our archaeological digs. And when I see this and I see subconscious, I'll go like, why does this relate to our late president JFK, his family, Bermuda Triangle, to the Bay of Pigs, shipwrecks? Talk about shipwrecks, like flowers in the water. Bye, buddy. See you later. Bye, I love you. Transformation. Bye. This is my reality. This is reality talking. So when you see it and you see solitude, transformation, solitude, and seeing like these individuals actually literally go in and you say, they spent like a lot of time alone and they learn like I'm picking up on a hoppy, on a hoppy, HOPI. Like I am hearing like to a degree. When I see collagen, absolutely I'm seeing like spiritual work, shaman work, health toxicity. They want to know why it was like this. Humanity. There was something about humanity that confused them around these times. Something, it was like 1948. This goes back to the Kennedy sister who was in, well, they would really respectfully call it like a reform school, but really it was an asylum, and they did a lobotomy on her. And so going back that, and you see this, and you see house, and then you see the dark, like something of a portrayal out, and then you see story, and then you see rabbit. There's something about playing with like children, like sitting outside with the children, and that's what Venezuela was saying. Something about family, or because I'm seeing ancestry and ancestral a lot. All right, let's go to the poplar wood rooms. Okay, like trolling to stone. And you see this, and you see like riding out, rolling out, warrior, guerrilla warfare type. They would get that picture. And then we see, with all the heritage, I'm seeing actually what their living conditions. And then when I look at it and I see like Nadiz, there's something about sword. It's not about cutting, but it is about cutting. It's a machete, a sword, like a sickle. And I see this power, instinct. I'm seeing like the GI tract, instinct. I see this and I see joy, like happy, going on, going to it, going towards it, like going about and like getting and going on and collecting it through. And you see this, you see Lagu, and then you see wealth, like something about water. Again, like what is it with the water? Let's go more like Let's look. Everything is like blacked out that I can see as a psychic, and that's how my psychic gift is when I close my eyes. It's really like when I do that, I'm like, like blowing it out. It means like I go on, get out of here, because it will like get nasty. So when you look at occultism and you look at black magic and stuff like that, and I'm seeing it black as what I've known as a magician, like you can't even go Norwich and like go forward and take a left right to the bank, and we go right to the bank. It's Stonewall like apiary. Like how was that like doing a done? Now, when I see this, it comes in like really strong. That's how bad like black magic can be. Black magic, when you look at like chemistry and physics, goes how we all know it. Basically, when you take it like on your simple chemistry in high school, and you have that natural reaction from like a volcano in your beaker, that's how it is, and it sticks for a 3 to a 5 to an 8. So it could be minutes and everything. When you see this, you say it's a gift, and you see like a freeze, and you see like at night, U.S. to run Venezuela. I don't see the United States running Venezuela. Like that was like next step right now. And when I see it and I see New York State in jail, he really should be in prison, not jail. But I feel there's terms. I don't want. I see Bunny. I see a toy. I see Epstein. I see a whole lot of nastiness going on. That is just the tip of the iceberg down to Titanic. Titanic is not the ship, it's a boat to go about. This is nasty. This is like really nasty. As a psychic, I don't even want to go near his wife. I'd have to say, uh, Lordy, Lordy, Lordy. It's like nasty, the lust of power to a wheel of luck, of shame. When I look at this and I go, being something about being born, hidden game, absolutely. And I would say this is gross, hidden game. Anything that you would anticipate anyone being a kingpin to a drug lord. All right. So how is like I'm still like trying to get it out a little bit more. Black magic. How would we do this? So I'm not trying to do anything funny. I'm actually trying to like get it out. I actually had to push back and pull back the energy a little bit. I swear to God, I'm trying to be honorable. Judicious transition. Legitimate. Keywords. Keywords. So I see horse, old game, old game. Elephant, I'd watch India next. This is like nasty in his face, Director Patel. This would be nasty in his face if they actually go through it. Now I'm seeing as a second, when I see whale, it's oriental. When you see crow, I'm seeing like tea shops in China. I'm seeing crow. I'm seeing this is like forlorn. It's like a forewarning. If you go near this, you're not going to do it. They would know that. I'm seeing like puppet, like the old dolls. When I see wolf, there's something about an expansive known. When I see this, lion mastery to butterfly effect, which is a type of a side effect from cocaine. They literally go. They flutter their eyes. What else do we need to know? I'm still trying to get that out. This one will literally make you sick to your stomach. Back to JFK, back to Bermuda Triangle. Power places, ley lines, they're like energy. You can feel it when it's really old places like that. The energy is odd. So I'm seeing this. I see stop, embrace in winter. It's like a cold dust off that happens that you actually can't even do it in. So when you can't do it in, you can't even get out of like the ground. So when you go and you have like places to swim, and then places like on the zip lines, and you're going on vacation, like it gets cold all of a sudden in the jungle, and when you see it and you go, like you're shivering, and that is when like snakes and reptiles come out at night, and that's when you're more susceptible to a bite, and that is where it really gets like odd with some people who have like snake bite to like a spider bite and stuff like that. So when you see this and see stop, embrace the wind, there's like huge pauses. Something, why snake, spontaneous awakening activation, like this would be like odd. Trust that we became men. Looking at the Bermuda Triangle, it's a flow of dust. Like it's just normal, like you would say, wind pattern that kicks up, but it like goes like cost like all of a sudden you see it. It's almost like this odd haunting of like a Davy Jones locker. And when you see it and you go through like what called Davy Jones, and we can review what Davy Jones locker is. Davy Jones locker is a magician's skill set that has to like get known. And when that happens and you go through it, you go right to like the bottom. They would say it's lower, but it really kicks up. So when it kicks up, you can't actually do anything. So like in the 1800s, when they had pirates and all of that, they actually like come on in. And when they come on in, like we had like been watching this criminal, they would say, for a long time. And when they come in, they actually like put it into them. And when they put it into them, you go, you can't even see it. And they hold it to the point where they can't even go on like to what they call the throne. So when you go to the throne, like they would start looking at everything right now. So when they put him in David Jones' locker, it's like hundreds of years. So out here in Mystic, I talked about that. We do have this old, like architectural, like why am I being like architectural all of a sudden? Why do I have that old architectural like base? Like here in Connecticut, there's something about architectural base. It's like an armory, but it's not an armory. I feel it's the old jail cell. And when I see that, like you go up and down, but when you go over the bridge in Mystic, Connecticut, it really is haunted at certain times of the year. And it really was a judicial sentencing for this individual. Like you're not to go like changing anything in magic or witchcraft or anything of that practice because it'll fire back at you. So with that being said, like I feel like there is this degree, like we kind of opened up a little bit, like there's this like Davy Jones locker in Bermuda Triangle. There's something of a WN that literally means like come on in and like call it out and like do it done, because you can't actually see it coming so hard at all, because there's something like sensory disturbance is so bad. I'm not really saying alien or UFO like activity. It's a wind current pattern that makes a disturbance, and that's all you need to know. So, with that being said, I mean, that's a lot for Nicolas Maduro. I feel a lot like the energy and the mediumship, they're kind of pushing back, like not to do too much right now. Um, but any questions or concerns, leave a like, a comment, a share, an email is greatly appreciated, and we'll talk to you soon.